Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today. Good to see all of you out there in our virtual world. My name is Ben Coyle. Bob and myself are going to be helping you understand a little bit more about how to light your home office, and we're actually going to show off our offices that we use here at home. Bob, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, we are. I'm Bob Henderson, broadcasting from Raleigh, North Carolina today. We've just been getting rain where the other folks up north and out west and so forth have been getting snow. So definitely still been a little cold, but yes, we really are looking forward to this presentation today. It's a new topic and it pertains really to all of us because many of us have been at home more than we have been during the pandemic, and many of us are working at home. So Colleen?
Yeah, Colleen McLaughlin. I am the event manager here. I am going to be handling the Q&A today, so make sure you type in any questions you have throughout the presentation in the question box. Even if you have comments or anything that you need help with, feel free to type them in there. Also, we're going to continue our February $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. So today's code word is spring, because like Bob said, I am looking forward to spring. It is a yucky, rainy, snowy mix here in New Jersey right now. Had about 44 inches of snow in the last couple weeks. I'm done with winter. So spring, S-P-R-I-N-G, make sure you type that into the follow-up survey today, and you will get one entry into our monthly drawing. Bob and Ben, take it away.
Okay. Well, that's a great code word, call. I just love that. So the takeaways that we have for you today, just to start off here, is this. So understand the types of home offices. Understanding the type of home offices can help us light it for comfort, productivity, and within budget. All three of those are important. Second thing is that demonstrations make the right choices. So we're going to show you some demonstrations today, something that we've never done before. And really, if you see it, you believe it, and it says, you know, this is for me. And then the other one, the last one, number 3, is selecting the right REV products will make your home office into the place you want to be. So spending time in an office, at home and so forth, you want to feel good, you want to feel comfortable and be able to get your job done. So with that, see if I can move the slide forward. And Ben, perhaps you can forward those for me. Are you working from home? So let's take a look at this picture. What's the problem here? What is the biggest lighting problem here? So is it the wrong type of desk lamp? Is it brightness on the task? Is it task ambient brightness ratio? Or is it lack of sleep because you see the guy is yawning, right? So actually the problem here is task ambient brightness. You got a dark room, you've got light on what you're doing. This is not good. How many of us have ever been in this situation? I'll have to raise my hand. I have, but it's really not good. And it can happen at home. So our work life has changed. So many of us are working from home. So the possible home office preparation activities for working at home could be you're going to repair something, get it working, get the lighting working maybe so that it's suitable for you to work. Or maybe you repurpose a space or maybe a room so that you're going to be working there. Perhaps a renovation. So it was a bedroom or maybe another area next to the garage or whatever, and now, or maybe even an addition, and that's the workspace. And then there's also now working at home, there's family involvement, which we didn't have when we were at the office. So here we go. So let's see if any of you can identify with this. So, hey, Dad, is this your home office? So they're having some fun with the 2 daughters there, the dad is. However, look at him. He's trying to concentrate and also be nice to his kids, right? Or the mom. Hey, Mom, is this your home office? So you're focusing on whatever's on your computer, but you know that just to the left of you, there's your son. You're kind of keeping an eye on him, and also you're trying to concentrate on your work. So with this, kind of pause and ask a question. So let's do a poll if everyone would respond here and ask this question. Do you have this situation with your home office? or it's just really a yes or no. So we'd be interested in loving and seeing what the percentage is of those of you who are on today. How many of you have this situation for those of you who are working at home or working? You do. And so we'll take just a few minutes. Then Ben will reveal the answers, your answers. So Ben, you see the folks responding? And so here they are. So yes, 34%, and no, 66%. So I thought it might be a little bit bigger, but still 1 out of 3 people have this situation. That's a lot compared to previously, right? So let's continue on, and we'll click forward here with this. And now let's talk about the office as we knew it before the pandemic. So with this office, and actually during the pandemic, so if you're working in an office, you have a business feel, you're interacting with your peers, as we see here. It's an efficient place, being an office, and it's also relaxed because the atmosphere that you have, you're used to it. Every day you come in and the same people you interact with, so you're relaxed. However, over on the home office, so this woman is working at, looked like at the kitchen table in her home. And so she needs to have a work atmosphere, which she does right now, it appears, have good visibility. It needs to be comfortable. And so it's going to be comfortable because she's at home and looks like she's able to do her job efficiently and relaxed. And also she needs to be in a position to minimize distractions. So with this, let's take a look at 4 scenarios. So here we have a woman that is in the den of her home, and she has things on her coffee table. She has her computer, her papers, and so forth. So very relaxed. Maybe she's in a situation where there's no interruptions. Maybe there's no kids in the home, so forth. Now let's compare that to this one. So we have maybe a Zoom call going on, doing work, having a meeting, and we have the kitty cat. So love the kitty cat. Not sure if that's going to cause any problems. Maybe hope the coffee doesn't turn over, but that's another situation from home. And now we have another one. So we're in the kitchen. So we have one daughter that has her own computer doing some work, and we have the other daughter that's helping dad. So I'm not sure how much work dad's able to get done there, but he's enjoying his daughter while he does a few things work related. And then we have a situation of older kids. So the older kids are there with mom. All 3 are doing work. So maybe some conversation back and forth about family while work is going on. So, a potential for another type of distraction. So the home office, it's good if we can create areas of light. And so what do I mean by that? So you see in this picture, we have a task light. We have ambient light coming from overhead. We have another light that's kind of in front and to the side. So there's different areas of lighting. We'll demonstrate this a little bit later. And the angle of the light needs to be the right, done correctly. So if it's the wrong angle, what can happen? So maybe create glare, the wrong type of brightness, reflection off of either a magazine or the computer screen. And then if you can vary the light levels, so either switch those or dim those, then not only can you get it the way you want it, but you can change it for different atmospheres and different meetings. And all of this is possible in a home lighting situation. And we'll, again, delve into that a little further. So see if I can move forward one more time. So which type of home office do you have? So here we have what I'm calling a portable office. This woman, again, is in her kitchen at the table. Then we have a permanent shared space. So it looks like it's a den, and the corner area over there is for a small little office there. And then we have the private office. This happens to be my office. So this is a converted bedroom turned into my office. Okay, so I'm going to ask here this poll, which type of office, home office do you have? You may or may not be working from home now, but if you have an office, if you were to have a home office, which one would you have? So select either the portable office, a permanent shared office, or a private office. So we'll take a look here, just a few minutes once everyone's voted. Ben will show us the results. So I was surprised a little bit by the first poll of 1/3. So let's see what we have this time. So portable office is only 20%. Permanent shared is 25%, 26%. And look at that, private office. So again, I'm a little bit surprised. So more of you have a private office than I thought, but still a quarter have a permanent shared office, and then another 20%. So if you look at that, 46% do not have a private office. So that's good to know. So what this tells us is that there's several types of offices that we can have depending on which one works for you. Okay, so that's what we have. So let's take a look at each one of those. And so the portable office, what are the advantages? Well, you have less space that's needed because it's it can move around, be flexible, and it's also comfortable. So we know all those things work for a portable office. However, the challenge is more potential distractions because it's open, subject to change, and so forth. And it requires a daily setup. And then being portable and being moving, you don't want too much equipment because it's a lot of trouble to move 3 screens. So it's limited screens and work surfaces probably if you're in a portable setting. Now, if we go to the shared space office, so there's no daily setup. You're in the corner of that den every day. It's the same thing. You are going to be on a limited budget, so there's not a lot of expense outgoing there. And then you got an improved focus over what you would have with it being moved around a lot. But the challenges here is control of the space. So again, being open, being a den, so people can come in, various types of interruptions, noises, and that, of course, limited flexibility because you're in the corner, so you have some area to move around. So because you can't move too much, your comfort level may be limited a little bit. Now, when we go to the next area, which is a private office. So private is less interruptions. You close the door, you have privacy. The room is dedicated to work. You're the only one that can change that. So it's dedicated. And then the flexibility of different scenes. And we're going to show that here in just a few minutes. The challenges is you are more isolated. You're not going to know what's going on in the family. You're not going to hear things. You're going to be focused. And then it requires a financial investment, maybe a desk, a printer, furniture, whatever. And then you're going to lose the use of one of the rooms possibly. If you didn't plan for that up front and didn't bill for the office, then maybe if you take a bedroom, that's one less guest bedroom that you had. So what I'm going to do is ask Ben if we can go out of the slides for just a minute. And I'm going to demonstrate here my office here just for a second. So what I'm going to do is set up the scene here for the very first one. So what we have right here is an overhead light. So I have 2 75-watt equivalent RAB lamps above 90 CRI. And so if I have just that one light, this is a mushroom type light with some diffusion. This is what I have. Now, let's go and change that around just a little bit. So if many of you that are working from home, you're concerned about screen time and how you look as far as your Zoom calls and so forth. So you want to be able to look good and so forth. Now, so if we were to dim this light down, and let's take this down to about this, a little bit less brightness, okay, right here. And then we were to cut on the torchlight. Okay, now, so you see what that does. And all of these sources are 2700K. So what this is a torchlight lamp where it has uplighting on a white ceiling, and then you have diffusion in the actual globe coming in, and so I have nice vertical light. Now, if I added to that task lighting, so if over on the right side, now it just has another little dimension. So if I take that off, Watch what happens when I add the task light. So it just fills that in just a little bit. What if we were to take off the torch here? This is what I have. So it depends on how you want to look in your appearance. If you add a little bit more light to the ceiling, so that is a little bit more too much light up on top. So when we dim that down, we even this out. And so Ben, I'm going to call on you now. If you would like to demonstrate your office and your presentation, great.
Okay, so I'm wondering if people are actually seeing the webcams. Are people actually seeing, can somebody say in the chat or in the questions if they're actually seeing what we're showing?
I am seeing it, Ben.
Okay. All right, so what we got going on here is I wanted to show you my setup. So here we are in my office. Are we sure? Hey, Colleen, can you see what's going on? I just want to make sure everybody can see the cameras and stuff.
Yep, I see.
Okay, excellent. So I wanted to show you around my personal office. And it's a multifunctional space. So I have my office area over here. I'm a bicycle racer, so I see that over here to my left. When we have family events, when we have people come over, or when we used to have people come over for COVID, I have my projector over to the left and then my screen over here to the right. So what I want to do is I want to point out these two light fixtures that I have, and there's a reason that I have these two light fixtures, this one over here on the left and also this one over here on the right. If I were to show movies like this light fixture is in the way. So I actually have to take, when we watch videos, sorry, let me move this out of the way. When we watch movies, I have to actually move this light fixture over here. And when I do that, it changes how things look when I'm actually doing my presenting. So now, we're back to how I look here when I am at my desk, when I'm doing my presenting. But we can see here that with that light fixture, so that I can watch movies with my family, when it's sitting behind me, my facial features look very, very different when I'm actually talking to people. Now, when I took a light meter and measured the amount of light that's actually right in at my desk, 20-foot candles with my light fixture over there, or if I take my light fixture and I put it right there where I have it whenever I do my presentations, now all of a sudden I have the light exactly the way that I use each one of these weeks when we do our webinars. Now, another thing I want to point out is if you have a light, something behind, so behind me, if you notice, you have a picture sitting behind my head. Now, if I take that picture, and I've actually done something to it to help out my video conferencing. If I sit here and I have that light fixture that has the light shining directly into my face, you can see over here to my left that the light bulb is reflecting inside of that, or off of that picture. Now, all I've done is taken an old Dave & Buster's card that doesn't have any games on it anymore. I take my Dave & Buster's card, I put it behind my picture, and then all of a sudden that reflection is completely gone off of that picture that I have behind me. So when we talk about these offices and what type of fixtures that we have, what I have down here in my basement, because my house was built in the 30s, and this is actually an addition that was in the 50s added on, I don't have a lot of room above me between my ceiling and the bedroom that's above. That was the 1950s addition. And the fact that all of the light fixtures that I have here in my space are medium screw base sockets. You might have a junction box. My ceilings are on the shorter side, so if I had any like dome lights or anything like that, I'd be bumping my head into it. So I couldn't use a junction box inside of this space because the ceiling's too short, and I couldn't put something up there in its place. Now, if I really wanted to, I guess I could have an electrician come in, maybe put some existing downlights or some downlight holes, maybe using some of our new retrofit or canless downlights inside of this space. And maybe one day I will be able to do that. So when we talk about this desk lamp, table lamp, fan light, which has your medium screw base socket, this junction box or this existing downlight, there are a couple different types of products that you could put in those spaces. One happens to be our A-line lamp. We have a variety of families of those, and I'm actually going to cover those in great detail. In our webinars, we have done very little at focusing on the A-line, and I just want to help you guys understand the breadth of that A-line because there are a lot of medium screw base sockets inside of our homes. Now, the next one that I have for you is those electrical box, right? You have electrical box up in the ceiling. You can use the Skeet or the Skeet XL in that type of a space. Most likely you're going to be using the larger ones that have a higher wattage because they have a higher lumen package. The edge-lit surface mounts, I'm going to cover those here in just a bit, show you the different features for that one. The last one that I have is if you do have existing downlights, you could take your BR lamps that are potentially up in those sockets and replace them with an LED BR lamp. I do realize that there are some PAR lamps out there, PAR downlights. So if you do not have the BR lamps and you have a PAR up there, like a PAR 30, we do have PAR 30 lamps that could be used in that type of an application. You could take that incandescent A lamp, BR lamp, or PAR lamp that you have up there in the ceiling, take the trim out and put a LED retrofit in there. We have two different families of LED retrofits. We have the new ones that we launched about a year ago. We've talked about those off and on in our different webinars. One that we haven't talked about is our Halite series. That one, what's great about that one is you have a variety of different trims that you can select to put on those. So the LED downlight retrofits that we have right now, we just launched, we have the white, which is the standard. We have them in bronze, black, and silver. Or there's three different trims that we have for just the new LED downlights that we have. But that Halite over there has about 7 or 8 different trim colors. For a residential application, if you want to have that different look, that stylish look of the trim up in the ceiling, the Halite might be the product that's for you to be able to get that light fixture to match what's inside of that home office of yours, if you so choose. So I mentioned before that we haven't spent a lot of love or given a lot of love to the A-line lamps. We actually have 7 different families. The one on the left is our economy family. The reason why you see 6 bulbs is because the economy family only comes in a 6-pack. Now the standard ones that we have in the middle, each one of those lamps actually represents a different family of A-lamp. With the one on the right is our premium. Here in a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking to you about our smart lamps that have smart shift built in with natural spectrum, and also some of our smart lamps that are used for post-top applications. So that A-line one, I'm not going to cover it today, that 7th family, but we will be talking about that in about 2 weeks or so. So the contractor series, when we look at this guy, the contractor series is in our economy family. We can see that we have a very limited offering. We have a 60 and 100 watt version in 3000K, 5000K. Both of these products have a limited warranty and a shorter life. The 13.5 watt is a 15,000 hour product. The 8.5 watt is 11,000 hour product. So with this, limited wattage, limited choices. When you bump up to the 80 CRI non-dimmable family, you have your 40, 60, 75, and 100 watt versions in 4 color temperatures. With this one, these are non-dimmable. These have a full warranty at 15,000 hours. So more options available to you. When we jump from the 80 non-dimmable to the 80 dimmable, now all of a sudden we have a 60 watt GU24, 75, 100 watt GU24 base in 4 different color temperatures. So now again, we've jumped up in the number of offerings that we have with that dimmable feature, but yet having that 80 CRI. Now some of you out there like the 90 CRI, you want really good color rendering in your home, or you happen to live in California or around California and you need a product that is that can comply with Title 24, which is the energy code, or have a product, and have a product that is California Title 20, which is the appliance standard, have it be comply with that standard. These right here, these 90 CRI dimmable versions, we see we have 40 through 100 watt versions of these guys, GU24, longer life for most of these. The GU24 is the only one that has the 15,000 hour, 3-year full warranty. All the rest have a 25,000 hour life with a 4-year full warranty, which includes labor. The next one that I have for you is our decorative line. So this is definitely something that could be used in a residential application. We have an A15 with a 4 watt, and we have a 5 watt and 9 watt A19. The 5 watt and 9 watt A19 are the ones that have the 27, 3000, 4000, and 5000 K. So we've really expanded that family of products to give more choices for that decorative line, which is either the one on the left, which is clear, and the one on the right, which is frosted, all with the E26 base. Now, we're jumping here to the commercial series, and you think commercial series, that's kind of like an or residential, right? Well, what I'm doing here in my space, because I have medium screw base sockets, I pointed to 2 different lights that I have. So the one that I have right here that has a little ring around it, that floor lamp, actually has a 300 watt version of this guy. The one that's in front of me that's shining directly at my face has a 100 watt 80 CRI dimmable version sitting there pointing directly at my face to give me the nice good illumination. And the one that's actually shining up on that 2-headed one right in front of me is a 200 watt version of this guy. So for me to be able to do what I need to do, I would not be able to, I would have to bring in more lamps, more stuff inside of my space to be able to get the light level to do my conferencing that I do with people, which is why I use the 200 watt there, the 300 watt there with that 100 watt shining towards my face. So you may need to use these commercial lamps in a residential application for people that are doing a fair amount of video conferencing, and you just really need, they have limited sockets that are inside their ceiling, and they really need the light level higher inside of the space. So these guys right here, some of them are 25,000 hours with the 3-year full warranty. Most of them sit in the 40,000 and 50,000 hour, which are backed by a 5-year full warranty. Obviously, we can see the E26s, which are up at the top, which is the 60 all the way up to a 300 watt version. And then our EX39s, the ones that are really truly for commercial spaces, because I don't think anybody here has an EX39, a mogul base inside of their home. Those are obviously 100% in the commercial world. So that gives us a frame of reference for 6 of the 7 families of A lamps that we offer here at RAB, all for different reasons, all for different purposes. Another product that I do want to also focus on happens to be our surface mount products. Probably not going to use a disc or a disc 34. They're too small, not enough light output in a home office. Most likely you're going to be putting the 1300 lumen 7-inch or the 1800 lumen 9-inch if you have a surface mount, if you have an electrical box up inside of your ceiling. So these are nice products, sits nice flush to the ceiling, very little protruding out of the ceiling, 27, 3000, 4000 K versions of these guys, 5-year full warranty. We also have a 90 CRI version, which can be used to comply with Title 24 for my California friends and where I'm actually from and where my parents live and my brother lives too. With the 90 CRI version, what you get with those are in the more light commercial. But if you want the 90 CRI version, you'll have the choice of either a triac based dimmable one. All the 80 CRI versions are all triac based dimming. With the 90 CRI versions, you either have the choice of the triac dimming or 0 to 10 volt dimming, 2 different models. All of them are universal voltage 120 through 277, which really doesn't help you from a residential standpoint, but gives you the frame of reference that if you were to use these in more of a commercial space, you would probably want to use the 90 CRI versions of these guys. in those commercial spaces because of that universal voltage capability of this product. 50,000 hours backed by our full warranty. So the 3 takeaways of the different things that we talked about today: Bob spent a fair amount of time talking about understanding the types of home offices that can help us light for comfort, productivity, and within budget. We did a couple demonstrations that make the right choices easier for you. And the last one there is selecting the right RAB product will help your home office, make your home office into the place you want to be. Next week, we're going to have some guest speakers with us. We're going to be talking about healthcare lighting with real solutions. We're actually going to be focusing on downlights, more so the commercial versions. So we're talking the 6 inches and the 8-inch versions of those guys. Because again, a lot of times we're talking about the 4 and the 6 and maybe the wafers. We're going to be talking about the higher light output versions, those and how they're used inside of a specific healthcare facility. So we thank you for coming. We appreciate you spending your time with us. And I'm going to stop recording.